Hey everyone, it's that Math Magician, and on this video, we're going to be introduced to something that we call function notation. Now for the past 4 videos, we've looked at function machines, and what we want to do is we want to start to transition away from function machines to something that we call function notation. And all function notation is just a simpler way to write out function problems. So let's start with an example of a function machine. So I'm going to draw out my function machine. And inside the function machine, I'm going to write the equation y equals negative 2x plus 1. And what we learned from our previous video is that we have an input of an x value, and we have an output as a y value. Now, let's say for this problem, we have our x equal 2. All right, so the 2 is going to be dropped in, and I want to see what the output is going to be from this function machine. Now, let's go ahead and solve this problem. I rewrite my equation. Y equals negative 2x plus 1. And again, I'm not going to write the variable x because I know that my input is x equals 2. So let's go ahead and work through this problem. Y equals negative 2 times 2 gives me negative 4. Bring down the plus 1. And negative 4 plus 1 gives me negative 3. So my output for this function machine is negative 3. All right, so this is how we used to do these problems, right? This was what we called a function machine. Now, we want to introduce something else that we're going to use, which is called function notation. And all function notation is you want to take the equation that we started with, right? This equation inside, and I want to rewrite it. So I'm going to have negative 2x plus 1. But instead of calling it y equals, I'm instead going to call this f of x. Okay, f of x. And all f of x is it's representing, let me go ahead and get my highlighter a different color. It's representing this whole entire function machine. That is what f of x is. F of x is referring to this function machine that we see highlighted in green. So f of x and the function machine are the exact same things. Okay? And we actually follow through the exact same process on solving these. So I'm still going to write out f of x, but now my input, remember what we dropped into the function machine, was x equals 2. So I'm going to write f of 2. And that represents me taking my function and having an input of 2. So I write my equation now, negative 2x plus 1. And again, I'm not going to actually write down the variable x because I know that my x became a 2. So this x is also going to become a 2. And now we just solve this just like the problem we did on the left side. So f of 2 equals, well, negative 2 times 2 is still negative 4. I bring down the plus 1. So f of 2 equals negative 3. Okay, so we end up with the same exact output. We're just now able to write it in a nice, sleeker way instead of having to draw out a function machine. Okay, it's the same exact process, but we're going to be using a different notation. And that notation is function notation. All right, in the next video, we'll take a look at a couple more examples on function notation. It's that Math Magician, and I'll see you next time.